Good morning, Sheila. How are you?
Good morning, Wayne. I'm excellent today. How are you?
I am doing great. It is such a great, pretty morning this morning. Thank you very much.
That
and
always
well,
helps. Yes, go ahead.
yes, it does. And welcome everyone to 27 Minutes with Sheila and Wayne, where we explore the fascinating world of verbs and their impact on our daily lives. Join us each week as we delve into the different ways verbs shape our language and influence our actions, as we attempt to make a positive difference in our world, one verb at a time.
Thank you.
and this is episode number 106.
Awesome.
So exciting, so exciting. And Sheila, what is our verb for today?
Today's verb is to create, which is a word that excited me a lot. But I know that each of us have found a trivia question related to this verb, which we will give hints to, and then we will answer at the end of the show. So
Okay.
go ahead with yours first.
All right. So my trivia question is, what percentage of people have creative insights in the shower according to science?
Okay.
Ooh. And what is yours?
What a famous Roman leader said, "It is better to create than to learn. Creativity is the essence of life."
Oh, I have a thought, but okay.
Okay.
I'll
All
hold
right.
it to the end.
Hold it till the end. And so to create, I've got a couple of definitions, and
Go
I'll bet
ahead.
you do too. So,
I do.
okay. To make or bring into existence something new or imaginative is the first one. To invest with a new office or rank, which was a new one to me. You having a military background might be more familiar with that one.
Aha.
Um, Number three is to design, and number four is to cause or to occasion.
Okay. To cause or occasion. I like that.
Okay,
I don't know what it means, but to
I'm
cause
not
or
sure either.
occasion.
So, and I didn't go. I kind of didn't go down that path. So,
Okay. And I have a few. I have five, as a matter of fact, pretty close, except one was new to me. And I thought, I
okay,
have to put this in because it's in the Cambridge Dictionary, but I've never heard this. But okay. To make something new or invent something,
okay.
yes. To show that you are angry.
Oh,
That's a UK old-fashioned form of the
oh,
verb.
okay.
Create to show that you are angry. I thought, I've not heard it that way. To cause something to exist or to make
Mm-hmm,
something new or imaginative,
mm-hmm.
and then to make something exist. And the last one, to produce through imaginative skills, which is what I
Ah,
totally enjoy. And Sheila, before we go forward, where can our listeners find you?
why? Thank you. I can be reached at zekeandsheila@yahoo.com.
And I can be reached at Wayne at mindsyncing.com. That's MindSyncing.com.
Thank you.
All right. And do you have any quotes today, or would you
I
like to
have
start?
several
Okay.
quotes. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So the first one, you may know this one by heart because you used to work for this company. I'm going to say the quote first. "You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality." And
Walter
that was
Disney.
Walter Disney. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so a fellow named Jim Rohn, who's an American businessman, said words do two major things. They provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness. And I would
Ooh.
say sometimes instead of providing just food for the mind, they can be junk food. Just saying.
Aha.
Just saying.
Okay.
Okay, Scott Adams, a cartoonist, said engineers like to solve problems. If there are no problems handily available, they will create their own problems. And then he also said, finally, and then I'll have one more later, creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which mistakes to keep.
Aha.
I've often wondered what the difference is there.
I
So,
like that. And you know about going back to Walter Disney, when he
yes,
created Disneyland and that dream environment,
yes.
I'm sure a lot of people back then or during those times remember this because he said it. However, I'm not sure if people today understand this, but
Hmm.
he built Disneyland such that as you walk into Disneyland, the outside world goes away because It was surrounded by trees and other things that you could not
Okay.
see. You couldn't see a freeway. You couldn't see the highways. You couldn't see
Oh,
outside things. The occasional airplane was the only thing that you could see from the outside world when you went into Disneyland as
interesting.
it flew overhead. So that helped you to become very consumed by the environment of Disneyland. It was very, very
Very,
cool.
yeah, a lot of details going into
Yes.
creating that particular wonderful place in the world.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Still, my favorite is Disneyland in California, but that's because, yes, that was my first one, first time, first job. Oh, uh,
Mm,
not first job, but first time I worked in a place like that was
mhm.
Disneyland. So that's all right. Anyway, so I have two articles. How about you?
I have a couple of research um, areas, studies that I looked up.
Okay.
So, but let's start by asking first, what was your first impulse when we picked this word?
I I was so excited because create. I love create because I love
Hmm.
to create things. I
Yeah.
I have created a lot of things, none of which has come to fruition, but I have I have created a lot of things. And growing up, I used to I played a lot of games, and I remember I had this electric Tudor football game. And for anyone who is around my age or whatever, they know what tutor is, and they know the electric football. You click the button, and the board vibrates, and the players have
Oh,
these little have these little feet on them, and the vibration makes them move, and they go. But I built stadiums. I built
oh,
transportation kinds of hubs for people could come to the stadium. It was all kinds of fun. I played with my marbles outside, and I created a track meet with my marbles, and I had statistical
of
analysis.
course.
I did. Of course,
That's
right? I did
great.
analytics way back then.
That's great.
So this word really excited me. How about you? What happened when you looked at create?
I was first inspired because not too long ago, Fred and I had the opportunity to go to Savannah, Georgia, and that is the home of the Savannah College of Arts and Design,
Ah,
SCAD, they call it.
uh-huh.
So all throughout the city, they've got
Scat.
little campuses and they've got, student art exhibits and things. And so I was thinking about arts and creativity. But as I continued to do more research on this, I realized that really creativity is about problem solving. It's not just expressing yourself through an artistic avenue. And there are a lot of things that you've talked about over time that I wanted to touch base on that help increase creativity. So
Oh,
we'll go down that path. But first, tell me, what was one of your first articles?
okay. One of my first articles was it was 9 steps to building a strong and creative, efficient team. So how to build a creative team,
Okay,
and it was written by, it was online, and it's a online kind of website. It's called Masterclass, and it was written by Masterclass. So no one individual got got I
writing
guess
credit.
the writing credit for this. It was a combination of a lot of people, So anyway, it talked about why is it important to build a strong team. And I think everyone kind of knows in general, but I'll kind of suggest what they said. Even the most innovative entrepreneurs cannot scale from an idea to an actualized success without the help of a team.
Hmm.
There's simply too much work for one person to do alone. As a good as good as a business idea might be, it cannot be proper business without a dynamic team working cohesively to execute a shared business plan. And I firmly believe that. And while on this thread, as I read this article and my next one, and I'm sure what I'm going to hear from you with your two research subjects there, um, I thought, wow, with all this great information, because I believe some of these things too, and Jennifer Milius and I put this in our book as well,
Hmm.
without looking without looking at these articles, but we already had this. I thought, why is there so much trouble every time I turn on the news in businesses and things? And it's because people go
Mm.
off individually and doing things. I'm like, wow, come on. What are you thinking? Anyway, I'm going to get off of that thread and I'm going to come back to the
Okay.
article. How
Okay.
to build a strong team. It says the
Right.
first one, establish expectations from day one. Well, yes. I mean, yes. Establish expectations from day one. And I talk about all the time, it has to be in the interviewing process. At the interview for the job, you've got to set it up day one, from the start.
Mhm.
This is what we want you to do. Can you do this? Or can you
Yeah.
not do that? If you
Right.
can't, go away. I get so ad nauseum. I get so tired of I look at job titles or not job titles, but job descriptions. And these work environments, they want you to be able to do 9 million things,
Right.
knowing that you're not going to do, half of those. So tell them up front, this is what the job is, and this is what we want you to do. Can you do this? Have you done this? So
No
establish
surprises.
expectations. No surprises.
Right.
Establish expectations from day one. Number two, respect your team members as individuals. I was watching the TV yesterday and it was on the news. And these Girl Scouts were being interviewed by the newscaster, by the anchor. And one of the questions he asked was, what's your secret in selling Girl Scout cookies? And this little lady, she was younger than any others. When
Okay.
after everyone gave their answer, she said, "Be kind."
Oh. Oh.
And respect your team members as individuals. Because how many times do we see now on the news where somebody has punched somebody, or on
Yes.
the airport, yeah, on the airplanes, they've gone out and attacked the flight attendant? Be kind. Oh my God,
Mm.
if an 8-year-old can get it, how come we can't?
It's radical. Radical idea.
My heart sunk when she said, "Because yes, okay." And I don't want to monopolize most of the time, so I will defer to you, my friend. So if you're ready to go, if not, I can keep going.
Well, there's a fellow named Robert Epstein who has a doctorate in psychology. It was when he wrote this article, he was a visiting scholar at the University of California in San Diego.
Okay.
Excuse me. And his first premise is that there's no evidence that any one person is inherently more creative than any other, and that creativity is something anyone can cultivate.
Hmm. Okay.
And also, he said stress is a well known creativity killer. So, here, he said, are the 4 ways that you can cultivate and be a more creative person. Excuse me,
Okay.
I'm going to clear my throat.
Certainly.
Okay.
Go ahead. That was a mouthful. I understand. Yes.
Right, right. So, number 1, write down or record your ideas. So, when you have an idea, write it on a napkin, on a scrap of paper, on an index card, in your phone. Give yourself an audio voicemail. Write down and record your ideas. Don't just let them float by and forget them.
Okay.
Number 2, seek out challenging tasks or take on projects that don't necessarily have a solution. For instance, how can I make my dog fly? As an example of one. First thing, have him lose weight in my mind. That's my dog. So,
Mm.
C, read stuff outside of your field. And I know this is a big one for you. You've talked frequently about how poetry is a really good way to stimulate creativity or thinking
Yes.
outside the box.
Yes.
And then D, the last one, or 4, surround yourself with interesting people and things, which that's my favorite. So, but not
Okay.
just the interesting people, but interesting things. So
Uh-huh.
I'm going to talk more about those, but let's go back to your next study.
Okay. So number 3 was engender connections within the team. And I'm thinking, yes, okay, because it's all about relationships, whether we're personal or professional, it's all about relationships. And if we engender connections within the team, people start to bond and build and grow trust with one another, and they start to listen to each other. And as you said, surround yourself with interesting things and interesting
Yes.
people. As you are doing those connections, you can then garner that interest, and people will start to listen more, as opposed to, like I said, what Mick taught me, those 7 words: am I listening or waiting to speak?
Right.
Right. So as you are engendering those connections, people start waiting to hear you. They start listening. Okay, yes. Oh, that's a good idea. And everyone doesn't go into the competitive nature of, oh, well, my idea is better. No, my idea is better. It's people start listening to each other, and good things come out of that. 4, practice emotional intelligence. We talked about emotional intelligence last time a lot. So yes, practice emotional intelligence. It's important.
Right.
5, motivate with positivity. And I thought, motivate with positivity. So that means take the stick away and just use the carrot.
That's a really big way to train dogs too. Positive reinforcement.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a good way to train Hudson's too, because hey, we do good things. I get a chocolate cake. Wow.
Oh, interesting. Good to know. Thank you.
Yes. And here's one of my favorites. Number 6. It is 3 words, but it's one word repeated after each other. Communicate, communicate, communicate.
Okay. Yeah.
I will stop there because we have talked about that a lot as well. Yes, gosh.
Okay.
And number 7,
Yes.
and I have 2 more after this, but I'll stop after number 7 for you. It says, look for ways to reward good work. And I'm thinking, yes, hello, this is all making sense. And again, why don't I see many people in just doing this in genuine favor, just doing this, or maybe they are. And again, it's those outliers, those statistical outliers where the people are on the left or right side of the bell curve who just muck up the works. I just don't understand it.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you have for us?
There was a study done. This is from Creativity Research Journal. I don't have a date or the person who conducted the study, but they took 74 city employees in Orange County, California. These employees participated in creativity training seminars over 8 months, and these were all reinforcing the 4 skills that I mentioned before that Robert Epstein had come up with. So they took these and rehearsed them for 8 months. Those employees increased the rate of new idea generation by 55% at the end of this study, which led to over 600,000 new savings, or new resources, new revenue, and savings of 3.5 million through innovative cost reductions. And so this really highlighted for me that creativity is not just about artistic skills, it's really about problem solving real world issues. So
I like that a lot.
I want to hear your other points, and then I'm going to talk about a test you can take to find out your creativity skills.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that test.
Okay.
So number 8 and 9, here we go. The last 2. Diversity. Well, I'm sorry, not diversity, diversify. Diversify.
Okay.
When it comes to building your business, your team should be as diverse as possible. Different backgrounds, experiences, ages, and opinions. Yes, because that's where good things get started. Again, like I said last time, if we all thought the same, we would all be driving a 4-door sedan that's blue.
Right.
Period. That's it. No, nothing else. So diversify. And number 9, find a team you trust. Wow. Now that could be hard. Right. Because if you're in a business and someone puts you on a team, you can't find any other teams. Nope, this is the team. So
that's your team. Make it work.
Right? Yes. But finding a team that you can trust. So that goes a long way, but I enjoy that. So, okay, let's hear about your test.
This is a test that you can take for free online, and it's not one where they require you to give them your email address and then they'll send you the result afterwards.
Yay.
Says someone who's taken too many online tests and quizzes. This was, again, designed by Robert Epstein. It's a pretty basic website. It's called mycreativityskills.com. And I took this test. It studies those 4 areas, which again are write down and record your ideas. Do you seek out challenging tasks? Do you read stuff outside of your field and look for connections? And do you surround yourself with interesting people and things? And I have to tell you, Wayne, I consider myself a pretty creative person. And I did not pass this test.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll even be transparent here with my scores. 100 is good. Below 85, you should start being concerned. Below 65, you're kind of in trouble. So on preserving new ideas, I got a 63. So
Mm,
I'm in trouble.
no, you're not.
Seeks out challenges, I got 50%. I'm deeply in trouble.
Really?
Broaden skills and knowledge, 88%. Got that one.
Yay.
Changes physical and social environment, 50%. I thought, that's because I put things up in my office and then I don't want to think about them again. I want to use my brain power in other areas. Nevertheless, I'm in trouble on that one too. So hope you do better than me.
I think because it's because it's a no frills kind of thing that you don't have to give there's no skin in the game going in. I bet they do that so that you can say, "Hey, I need help." And
Oh, I
now
need to take one of his classes on how to.
yes,
I need to take a
how to be
creativity
better.
training. I need to buy his book, how to be more creative.
That's exactly right.
Well, thank you for giving me just that touch of cynicism so that I can be confident again about my skill sets.
Because I think he's wrong on your
Okay.
test.
I will admit, after I looked that up, I thought, do I need to do some of these,
But I
these?
am gonna go there and take this test. I am.
Okay.
As soon as we do this podcast this morning,
We'll,
I'm
we'll
taking
we'll
that
compare
test.
notes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All
Or
right.
scores. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I have my
Yes.
next article, How to Create a Positive Work Environment. And this is from teambuilding.com. And again, I don't think there was one single author. However, I think maybe this is a teamwork effort, possibly.
Okay.
But how to create a positive work environment. And I'm just going to go down the list. It says one, adherence to occupational safety. Well, yeah, everybody has to. Yeah, let's be
No,
safe out there.
yeah, I'm going to put a poster up at my husband's office. No one killed on the job today. No, no, 40 days since someone was killed on the job.
Excellent. Number two, employee engagement. Again, like the
Mm.
other article, engagement, interaction, building relationship, building trust. It makes sense. Number, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to interrupt you,
Yes,
but
you
you
can.
have to be a little bit judicious with that because I thought it would be really positive to put little sticky notes in the women's bathroom stall saying, "Have a great day. You look great today. Doing a good job." And the rest of my staff members said, "Well, we knew you did it, but it was kind of creepy." So just be careful the way you do
Okay.
that.
All right. All right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Number three, appropriate workplace ergonomics. Okay. You know what? If you have the money, buy those seats and those desks that raise up or down or
Right.
whatever
Oh, yeah,
to help.
yeah.
Right? Yes. If we
Special
can do
keyboards. Yeah.
exactly. Yes. Four, existence of a positive organizational culture. Yes, it already has to exist. So as the
Mm.
leaders, go in there and make it a positive environment. I mean, oh my gosh, it how hard can that be? I don't know. Availability of quality tools and equipment. Train your individuals, get them up to speed, let them learn the job, give them tools, methods, coaches to help them be better in the job. Yes, integration of diversity, equity, and inclusion standards. We talk about this all the time, all the time. And again, I see on the news, I see at work environments, I see at conferences, the same kind of people are together in this one group and they're talking about brainstorming. Well, how can you brainstorm? Because you're all 60 years old, you all have gray hair, and you all wear a three-piece suit.
Yeah,
Y-
yeah.
You know,
Limited ideas coming out of that
yes.
room.
Employee well-being. I talk about the 5 F's all the time. You have to have friends, family, fun, faith, and
Mm.
fitness. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
because I need you at work every day. Fair policies. Oh my goodness. Yes, fair policies. How about that? Let's don't have favorites. Let's don't play favorites,
Right, right.
and let's keep that scuttlebutt out of the workspaces. Let's just go. Before I move on, how about you? Would you like to talk about your next one or continue on?
Oh, please continue on.
Okay. Clear job expectations. Wow. Again, as we talked about the first thing, establish expectations from day
Right,
one.
right,
Clear job expectations. This is what I expect from you, and guess what? This is what you can expect from me.
right.
That's a two-way street. Most things that we talk about, that I talk about, is a two-way street. It's building those relationships, um, and it's not tit for tat. It's just yes, we're both there. So let's start there and move on. Number 10, supportive leaders. And this was the last one, supportive leaders. Again, leadership is a skill. And Jennifer and I and you and I talk about this all the time.
Hmm.
It's a skill, and we should have to we should use that skill to influence their followers or our followers and to work towards achieving company goals. I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it? And as you're
Uh, yes.
as you're achieving company goals, possibly you could be achieving your goals too. So let's talk about
Hopefully.
those expectations from day one. What are your personal goals
Right.
and what are your professional goals? And do they fit into the organization that you're coming into?
Right.
If your personal goal is to stop smoking, do not come to work at a smoking company,
Right.
one that produces cigarettes. Don't do that because there's going to be conflicting goals.
Good point.
Anyway, yeah, I will stop there and I will go to you because we have 25:46.
I know. I know. I just want to make sure we have time to answer our trivia questions.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
were there any other points you wanted to make before we touch base on those?
Nope. No, ma'am.
Okay.
How about
Okay.
you?
All right. Nope. Here it is. The Roman leader who said it's better to create than to learn, creativity is the essence of life, was Julius Caesar.
I was going to say that. It was on my tip of my tongue. How
I,
about that?
and it makes me really wonder what he was talking about and what he was referring to. But because I
He
think
wasn't.
learning is good too. But
He wasn't talking about Brutus.
no, he was not.
Et tu, Brute?
Nope, nope. Brutus, you should have been more creative. Okay,
Right.
so what was your trivia question?
Okay, so it was again, what percentage of people have creative insights in the shower
Oh,
according to
yeah.
science? And the number is 72%.
Now, how do they come up with that
I don't
statistic?
know. Again, now that goes back to your workplace thing. I think that's kind of creepy if they're they're installing measurements in my shower here.
You have to wear these things on your head attached to your scalp, and they might electrocute you if they get wet. So just
That's
be
right.
careful in the shower. Okay. Well, Wayne, I know being conscious of the fact that we're called 27 Minutes with Sheila and
Yes.
Wayne. So I want to just thank folks for listening to us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your feedback. So please do send us suggestions on how we can improve our podcast or what you enjoyed about it. And I'd like to close with one more quote, this one by Nelson Mandela.
Please do.
Excuse me. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will.
Wow. Money won't
So
create success, the freedom to make it will. Wow.
So, something to ponder as you go about your week. And thank you, folks listening. And thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Sheila.
Bye
We'll
bye.
see you next week. Bye bye.